Okay, now on to Unit 5, Lesson 6, problem set 3. And we have Claire and Elena working together. And Elena is going to bring up a topic that we talked about in an earlier lesson. So when we talk about what Elena's ideas are, I'm going to go ahead and pop back to that lesson and just show what we did there so that we can remember. So Claire says we know that if we dilate a cube by a factor of k, the cube's volume is multiplied by k cubed. And that's what we just saw in the previous video. It seems like that must apply to all solids, but I'm not sure how to prove it. Now, here's where we're going to pop back because Elena has a good idea. So we'll go back to this lesson. And Elena says earlier in the unit, and this is actually section lesson 5.4, and she says earlier in the unit we showed that we can cover any two-dimensional shape with rectangles. If we remember this is what Andre was working on. We can cover any two-dimensional shape with rectangles, so the property that area changes by k squared when we dilate the figure by k applies to all shapes, not just rectangles. Can we do something similar here? So let's think about what Elena was talking about. Remember, what we started doing here was we took this blob and we put in a bunch of randomly sized rectangles, right? And we had them numbered 1 through 9. And then we talked about, well, what happens as we scale these rectangles, okay, or if we scale that blob, what's going to happen? Remember, in the red here, we in the red, what we did is we estimated the area of the blob by finding the total area of the rectangles by adding them all up. And then underneath here in the blue, what we did is we scaled the blob by a scale factor of k, and we knew that we would then be scaling the individual areas by that same scale factor of k, which means we have to multiply by k squared. So down here, last but not least, we saw that we can, if we scale a shape with a scale factor of k, then we are scaling the area by a scale factor of k squared. So that's going to be important that we remember how to do all that. Coming back here now to Elena and Claire. And what we want to do is we want to use Elena's line of reasoning to argue for any solid. If it's dilated by a scale factor of k, the volume will be multiplied by k cubed. So here's what we're going to do. Suppose we fill a solid with cubes. Okay. In order to fill in every part of the solid, the cubes would have to get smaller and smaller. Okay. As we filled the space, smaller and smaller as we fill the space. Okay, now we're going to dilate the original solid by k. If we dilate the original solid by scale factor k, then the cubes, each individual cube, we know we're going to dilate by that scale factor. So the cube scale factors will be multiplied each side by k, which means the volume of the cubes will be multiplied by k cubed, by the scale factor cubed. Okay? And then what we would do is we could use the same distributive property that we did back here in lesson 5.4, right? Remember back here in lesson 5.4, we took all these k squareds out in front and we would factor them out. So that same idea would happen here, and I'll actually show it to you. What the heck? So if we have the total volume is the volume of each little cube, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, all the way up to volume n, whatever number that is, however many cubes you can fit in here. If we're going to multiply the original shape by a scale factor of k, then that means that the volume of my cubes, now the total volume, is going to be k cubed times this first volume 1. Then it's going to be k cubed times this next volume 2. Then it's going to be k cubed times the third volume, right? And so on and so forth, all the way up until we have k cubed times the volume of however many cubes we have. Now recognize here that I have a k cubed in each one of these terms, so I can factor that k cubed out. And what I'm left with is volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, right? Volume 3, all the way up to volume n, which was my original volume at the top. So recognize that if we decide to do a problem like this where we have some unknown solid and we want to figure out the volume, if we just take the volume that we start with and multiply it by the scale factor cubed, we should get the new volume. And let's apply that. Number 2, suppose a triangular prism has a surface area of 84 square centimeters and a volume of 36 cubic centimeters. The prism is now dilated by a scale factor of 4. We want to calculate the surface area and volume of the dilated prism. Well, to do the surface area, I know that I take the original surface area, which is 84, and I just multiply that by the scale factor squared. So my surface area, my scale factor here is 4. So I'm going to take 4 squared and I'm going to multiply it by 84 to get my new surface area. 4 squared and then times 84 gives me 1,344 square centimeters. So there is my surface area. What about the volume? Well, if I have the volume, I know that if I cube the scale factor and then multiply it by the original, and the original here was 36, that I should get the correct volume. So now the volume is my scale factor is 4 cubed times 36. So my new volume, 4 cubed times 36, and our calculator is 2,304 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters. Perfect. So that's how we would apply this scale factor. Really important right over here. Let's remember this. In order to scale the volume, we just multiply by the square, by the cube of the scale factor. And when we want to scale up surface area, again, we multiply by the square of the scale factor.